How to find the main idea. Overview of presentation. 1. Topic versus main idea. 2. Topic versus main idea versus supporting detail. 3. Stated main idea statements in paragraphs. 4. Implied main idea in paragraphs. 5. Long reading selections. 6. Summary. Topic versus main idea. First, it is very important to recognize the difference between the topic of a reading selection and the main idea. The topic of a selection is the subject matter, what it is about. It usually is expressed in a word or phrase. If you are not sure of the difference, it might be helpful to use your prior knowledge and think of what you do know of topic and main idea. Since most of us like movies, it could be helpful to think of topic and main idea in terms of a film. Most of us have seen the blockbuster hit Titanic. The topic of the movie Titanic is this: a love story of two lovers on the Titanic. The main idea would be what the author says about the topic, a complete sentence. The film describes the story of Jack and Rose, two lovers from radically different circumstances, who fall in love during the maiden voyage of the ship Titanic and who tragically sink with the ship. Here is an example using a book you have probably read. The topic of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone is this: a boy with special skills entering a school for wizards. The main idea of Harry Potter, the Sorcerer's Stone, in a complete sentence. Harry Potter, a young boy with magical talents, is sent to a school for wizards where he meets loyal friends who help him fight evil enemies. Let us look at one last example. Have you read or heard of F. Scott Fitzgerald's book, The Great Gatsby? The topic of The Great Gatsby is the wasteful lives of the New York wealthy during the Jazz Age. A main idea of Fitzgerald's classic novel, or theme as it usually is called in literary works, is this: The Great Gatsby, the story of a young man who moves to New York and who becomes involved in the affairs of the idle rich, offers a commentary on the materialism and lack of morality of the 1920s in America. Topic versus main idea. Remember, topic refers to subject matter. Main idea refers to a complete statement, the point the writer is making about the topic. Let us do some practice. Identify the topic and then the main idea. 1. Smoking has been proven dangerous to people's health, yet many continue to smoke for various reasons. For young people, smoking often represents maturity and individuality. Many smoke as a way to reduce tension. In addition, the regular smoker becomes addicted psychologically and physically to the nicotine in cigarettes. Topic: A. Health. B. Smoking. C. Addiction. D. Nicotine. Main idea. A. Smoking has been proven dangerous to people's health in various ways. B. Regular smokers become addicted to nicotine. C. Although smoking is dangerous, people continue doing it for various reasons. D. Nicotine is what smokers become addicted to, both psychologically and physically. Did you get the correct answer? The topic is B, smoking. The main idea is C. Although smoking is dangerous, people continue doing it for various reasons. Main idea versus supporting detail. After you identify the topic of a selection, you then are on your way to finding the main idea. As you read through a reading selection, you must distinguish between the main idea statements and the supporting details, What is the difference? Details explain, illustrate, elaborate upon the main idea. Details are specific pieces of information. Main idea statements are general and more broad. Let's now look at this short paragraph. There is some evidence that colors affect you physiologically. For example, when subjects are exposed to red light, respiratory movements increase. Exposure to blue decreases respiratory movements. Similarly, eye blinks increase in frequency when eyes are exposed to red light and decrease when exposed to blue. This seems consistent with intuitive feelings about blue being more soothing and red being more arousing. After changing a school's walls from orange and white to blue, the blood pressure of the students decreased while their academic performance improved. What is the topic? What is the main idea? What are the details? There is some evidence that colors affect you physiologically. Main idea. For example, when subjects are exposed to red light, respiratory movements increase. Exposure to blue decreases respiratory movements. Similarly, eye blinks increase in frequency when eyes are exposed to red light and decrease when exposed to blue. This seems consistent with intuitive feelings about blue being more soothing and red being more arousing. After changing a school's walls from orange and white to blue, the blood pressure of the students decreased while their academic performance improved. Supporting details. What was the topic of the paragraph? The topic is colors. Now that you understand the distinction between the topic and the main idea and supporting details, you might wonder how you locate the main idea of a reading selection. Here are a few tips. The main idea of a paragraph or essay or textbook chapter is stated explicitly about half of the time. It makes sense that you first look to see if there is a main idea sentence. Before we start, let us define some useful terms. The main idea statement is called a topic sentence in a paragraph. The main idea statement is called a thesis or thesis statement in an essay or article. In literature, the main idea is referred to as the theme. Where are useful places to look for the main idea statement? One common place for the topic sentence of a paragraph is in the beginning. Topic sentence, followed by supporting detail, and supporting detail. Americans even differ in their preference for munchies. The average consumer eats 21 pounds of snack foods in a year, hopefully not all at one sitting, but people in the west central part of the country consume the most, 24 pounds per person, whereas those in the Pacific and Southeast regions eat only 19 pounds per person. Topic sentence, Americans even differ in their preference for munchies. Supporting detail, the average consumer eats 21 pounds of snack foods in a year, hopefully not all in one sitting. Supporting detail, but people in the west central part of the country consume the most, 24 pounds per person. And supporting detail, whereas those in the Pacific and Southeast regions eat only 19 pounds per person. Here is one more example of a paragraph with the topic sentence as first sentence. Americans express a remarkably high agreement that pornography should be restricted. Topic sentence. Supporting details. An overwhelming 91% of all Americans think that the law should limit or forbid its distribution, 48% favoring laws that forbid the distribution of pornography to persons under 18, and another 43% favoring laws that would keep pornography from people no matter what their age. Females feel even more strongly about this matter than do males, with a full 50% wanting to entirely forbid the distribution of pornography.